What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 45 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, Marcus Wolfhart finally debuted in the Monument of Itzatal, destroying the little lizardman army that was there, plus the garrison. It was a rather tough fight for him, but he is still using basic garbage units and won't be ready for another couple of turns. He's just ready enough to do basic fights, not against proper enemies, but he's getting there. His huntsmen are getting stronger and stronger, and the numbers of them will increase quite a bit over the next few turns, which will make the army stronger and stronger. Also, just notice these guys got 14 upkeep in his army. Wow. Oh man, 614 money for this army. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Man, I didn't even realize it was that cheap. Just compared to some of our other armies here, Gelt's got 2.3k, although to be fair, Imperial armies are generally pretty cheap. Oh, and Ditizen, 3.8k. Damn, the Moor army is quite expensive, isn't it? Mostly due to the great swords, but still, damn. Alrighty, well anyway, we left off last time with some potential fights here. Sartosa is poised to get attacked, destroyed, and the faction will be gone for good after this. In addition to that, we have Skaven Blight as well, though Ikit Claw is there to personally defend it. I doubt that he can succeed against 3 full stacks. We also have Karl moving northward. That's not Karl. There he is, Karl moving northward to Skalak, and then hopefully to the rescue of the Urson Revivalists, and then we also are finally poised to attack the Isle of Wights, though we did unfortunately fail to have both armies land at the Isle, so Gavin here is by himself for now, but by the looks of it, there's a tiny little army here and an even tinier little army here, and neither one of them are all that threatening. So unless this guy can recruit like all the units in one turn, which I'm not sure that he can, it's unlikely for him to actually threaten Gavin, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what he can recruit. Now, in terms of what we gotta do this turn, I actually don't think there's anything. We did all the Diplo, we did all the moves, so we're ready to end the turn and then try to find ourselves another battle, just double checking it, but yeah. Alrighty, so the area where we're most likely to get attacked, I mean, it's possible that these guys could hit us. Wolfhart might get hit as well, in theory. Let's find out. Skip, 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 skip. Outpost available, skip for now. Damage building, skip for now. And unless it's here, it is not here. Oh, we could get something built up here though. If we wanted to, could start on those walls, and we'll probably need them. Yeah, fine, start on the walls here. It's gonna be tough defending all of this territory. Anyway, end the turn, and let's see what the enemy's got for us. Great Orthodoxy, still wanting to make a friendly little alliance, but that's not going to happen. You hold something we might want. Alright, Hexobattle, looks like they are not attacking us right now, that's fine. Though I doubt that they could take Spectazuma even if they tried, not without several full stacks. Alright, Grimgor probably not near enough to us, and anything else interesting? Nope. Alright, it looks like nobody's getting attacked. That's wrong, and oh. Oh, well that's an issue. Where the heck did you come from? Ah. I just checked this place, and there wasn't an army there. Well, that's problematic. And Gavin can't retreat. Oh my. That's very, very problematic. Yeah, Gavin's boned. Nice save, Ruinous. Alrighty, well, I guess we're gonna have to fight this. I wonder why it says low casualties and close victory. Maybe this guy's in march stance. If he's in march stance, it's a little bit less problematic, but the trolls and the piles of manticores and the berserkers, basically everything in this army is better than the things in our army. I mean, this wasn't even supposed to be a real army, it was just a supporting army, for now. Alright, well, Gavin, you gotta give it a try. We're gonna put the 2 pennants on the flanks, I think. Actually, no, you should be in the center somewhere. And just because you can spread your aura around, you can be a flanking unit. Alright, well, here we go. Gavin, this may be your last stand. You have no wizard. You have mortars, which aren't going to be of any use against the trolls or the feral manticores. Should be a fun time, though. Here we go.
It will be done!
Alrighty, here we go. This is liable to get pretty darn dicey. I don't know whether we can pull this off regardless of what the auto-resolve says, and it would be a shame to lose Gavin's magnificent hat here. That's a heck of a hat. Yeah, definitely one of the superior hats that we have in this particular camp. And anyway, here we go. Looks like the enemy is going to try to wait for its reinforcements, and we're not going to bother moving any closer. I want as much of the field left for our mortars to fire as possible. Granted, maybe we could have deployed a little bit further and allowed the mortars to fire in this one unit of Marauder Berserkers, but they would have simply done the dance and then dodged all that anyway. Now, let's see here. What do we have? Very tired. All right, which means that this army, the second army, the big army, the threatening army, is in fact in march stance, which is good for us. I also want to point out we have a few units hurt because the enemy has been using... I don't remember the name of the ability. It's like Wraithstorm for the Vampire Coast, but it's like a Norscan spear or something version. Anyway, looks like the enemy's going to send forth its flyers, and thus we're going to have some work for our handgunners. Immediately, they are set up in such a way that several of them can fire at once, even if one of the enemy flyers does land upon them. And we are going to tell most of them to focus the first unit to try to knock it down before it can do anything. It does look like it is getting staggered. But yes, I probably should. Ooh, you can get staggered by mortars. Nice hit to the mortar gunners, though. Frickin' hitting a flying target with a mortar shell? And that's pretty impressive, I gotta say. And, oh damn, it's gonna dodge a lot of shots there, which is unfortunate because the reload rate on handgunners is fairly slow. We've got, let's see, 17.3 seconds a reload time. It's pretty crazy, so they can do a very nice high damaging volley, but they're gonna have to wait for a while before they can fire again. Alright, so just keep on sitting there and then fire into the back of this thing. You got more enemy flyers on the way. They're probably wanting to use these to screen the advance of the rest of their army, but they are a little bit too far forward, as the infantry here still have to get to us. They move at fairly fast speeds. 42 speed is certainly faster than the standard infantry, 30 to 32 or 28 to 32. Oh, and there's that other bound spell hitting us. But it's not fast enough to get here before the flyers are all shot to pieces, at least by the looks of it. Looks like one has already shattered and this one is broken and about to be destroyed. We are starting to take damage on a few of our units of halberdiers, but it is probably a good thing that the enemy landed in the way that they did. As in, they did land and try to attack halberdiers rather than trying to attack the handgunners in the back. Granted, it did allow them to land a little bit sooner, and we probably got at least a little bit of damage into our own units from the handgunners' fire, but nonetheless, seems to be working out reasonably well. We can see one of the enemies having been knocked out in the background, and a few shots smashing into Gavin there, but leaving his hat unharmed, and really that's the main thing. There we go. Looks like the enemy Manticore has been brought down. The fourth, I believe, Manticore is not shattered, but routing, or broken. And here come the rest of the army. Now, let's see how much damage we've taken. The bounce of power is still about even, I think 50-50. We've taken a decent amount of damage to both of these units, and a Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma has hit them from Fimra here, the Fimirmir. And we will be focusing said Fimmer down as best we can before the enemy can cast anything else. So, once again, that'll be for the handgunners to do. Get ready to fire, boys. And is that thing coming back? The Manticore? No, it doesn't look like it. Not yet. Alrighty, that's a lot of bullets pinging off and landing on the ground. I didn't even know that they landed on the ground after hitting units. That's nice. I assumed that the bullets actually would have just disappeared instead. Now, let's see how much damage we've done here. Alright, looking pretty good. The enemy might be able to close the distance, but with 4 or 5 units of handgunners firing at the same time, it does look like it will be brought down. Hopefully before it can cast again. Yeah, I'm knocking a few of our own units out, but it's worth it to bring down the only caster that the enemy has. The caster did, however, screen the advance of its lord, who does move in and start asking some poignant questions to our halberdiers. There we go. While we are not going to be targeting him, we are going to be targeting a lot of other units. Here come the trolls. We're going to be ignoring the infantry by and large because, well, I do imagine the halberdiers can hold it. It's the trolls that are going to be a concern. And they can do quite a lot of damage, especially as they are armor piercing and splash damage as well. But we do have quite a few of our handgunners, and unlike the smaller infantry units, we can fire over the heads of the halberdiers into all those trolls. And there we go. Plus, trolls have pretty notoriously low leadership, so a few nice volleys should be able to at the very least rout them. Though I do imagine that they will be back before long. So, first of the enemy units of trolls routing, second routing as well, and I do imagine the situation is being repeated on this side of the map. Yes, all of the trolls are out. That said, this does allow the enemy infantry to freely approach, and it does look like we are starting to get overwhelmed, although the enemy has also been doing a good job just keeping to our infantry. Like, it's not moving through the firing lanes. It looks like it directly wanted to attack the halberdiers rather than try to get through. Ooh, and Gavin brings down the enemy lord by the looks of it with his two-hander. Very nice. More enemy infantry moving in, and we are having our mortars now target the enemy ranged units because they're the main threats to our handgunners. As long as the handgunners survive, or at the very least as long as the halberdiers can hold for the handgunners to do the damage, we should be able to, over time, rip the enemy apart. And in fact, the balance of power has shifted into our favor at about 70-ish%. We are certainly damaged on our front lines in terms of our halberdiers, but our mortars are preventing the marauders from doing really all that much, and it looks like the handgunners are helping out as well. And while the berserkers and some of the marauders do still fight, it's looking reasonably well for us. There we go. Keep it up, mortars. And more of the enemy marauders are rushing away. The berserkers are still firing, and this is probably a pretty good matchup for berserkers facing off against halberdiers. Halberdiers being slow attackers and armor piercing, so the armor piercing is wasted on the low armored berserkers, and the slow attacks inferior to the fast frenzied attacks of the berserk. Nonetheless, we are doing a fairly decent job holding. Gotta remember that these guys are all exhausted, though I do imagine that... Well, actually, now several of our units are still active and not all that tired. Yeah, that vigor. The vigor reduction is absolutely atrocious for these guys. I wonder, do berserkers have a vigor recovery? Wow, what the heck is going on with that blood there? Freaking me out. Do these guys have a vigor recovery trait as part of their rage? Physical resistance, rampage, melee speed. No, don't see any vigor recovery. Alright, well that works out great for us because these guys are going to stay exhausted. And they are still fighting, however, but by the looks of it, most of the rest of their army is going to fail. And Gavin will charge in and force the rest of these guys away. Lovely, and I do believe that was the last unit that was still fighting, so the battle will in fact be ours. Ooh, yeah, that could have ended poorly. Now, I don't believe we technically need to gun everybody down, because since the enemy was tired, I'm pretty sure they were in a march stance. Unless, of course, there's some other Norscan stance that I'm not aware of that hurts vigor at the same time. There we go. Well done to the handgunners. Probably did the lion's share of the damage here, but hey, the halberdiers did hold, and that's really all that we asked of them. And there we go. Damn. That guy not having the best of days. It looks like a bullet just exploded his brain and his arm. Alright, well, bloody death for a random berserker number 278. Anyway, close victory for us, and we certainly did take some damage, but at the end of the day, this army survives, and that's really all we needed because our supporting army is about to land and help out as well. Alrighty, that went surprisingly well. The fact that this army was in march stance looks like it really worked out fairly well for us, and the fact that the AI decided not to make good use of its flying units, instead sacrificing them at the start of the battle. Still, good job, Gavin. You pulled it off with some fairly basic, cheap troops. Too bad we can't heal you up, because you're also going to take attrition this turn, but I do believe the other army, Kurt, should be able to land here, so unless you get attacked again, which it looks like you're not going to, you should be fine. Eh, we get another... oh, wait. It's a muster trait. I thought for a second that it was the militiaman equipment or ancillary. Seafarer for Kurt, yay. Ally begins outpost construction, ambush foiled, okay, great. All the ambushes were foiled, but doesn't matter all that much. Heinz Weber is ready for duty. I don't know who you are. Hey, there we go. Utilize Wizard Apprentices. Finally ready. I've been talking about this one for ages, it feels like, and it's good that we finally have it. Azag. Huh. What are you doing here? We can't reach you with Karl. We can reach Uzkalak, though. Well, I guess we should probably go for Uzkalak. This is not much of an army, but... is it enough to take the Great Skull Lakes? I do have to wonder. I also have to wonder what he's going to do if we attack him. Also, what do we have here? Aha! Argor with a little stack. Damn, he might be able to take Saber Mountain. Well, at the very least, he might be able to siege it until a bigger army comes along and does it for him. You don't have much in the way of defenses. Maybe I should have gone for an Archlector after all, but whatever, too late. Well, I mean, it's not too late in that we can go for another one. And hey, if it isn't Grimgor. Ooh, I do wonder what's in your army. And right beside Kurt, eh? Or Nud, rather. Too many Kurts. Grimgor cannot reach this place. Okay, you know what? Nud, you're gonna stay there. We're going to wait until Theon gets here. We don't want to be fighting Grimgor without a mage, that's for certain. And I'm hoping that when he sees this, he'll try to strike. What might be bad, though, is what might happen is he might also move into March Stance out here to Ice Spewer, and then reinforce at the attack at Saber Mountain. It's not like we can get anything here. One more turn until Hawkland long rifles, but do we really want to waste the unit effectively on a defensive little garrison like this? Yeah, so the bigger problem, or the biggest problem here is that the recruitment duration being +1 really makes this quite slow. We could try to recruit some more troops via global recruitment. There's a number of things we can get, like free company, although 900 gold for a couple of units of free company is quite a bit. Yeah, but nonetheless, let's see if we can't recruit some more. We'll see how the enemy reacts to this. Probably should have done a couple of those last turn anyway. And it's not like we're running low on funds right now. Karl, you are going to go into trenches and you're going to siege Uzkalak. And, is this Azag's last army? Yes, it probably is, because he has no other settlements. So, wait, try to block his army right there. Ooh, you're unlikely to succeed at that. Much better off damaging those walls, huh? Alright, we'll try to damage those walls then. Alright, and got a success at that. The walls have 2 breaches in them, not that that matters all that much. And they don't have a garrison here. I might actually be able to auto-resolve this. Well, let's see what we're looking at here. Close victory, eh? Too bad the caravan is unwilling to help. Whose caravan is this, by the way? Northern provinces, I forget. Are we allied with the Northern? Yes, they're a defensive alliance. Great for them, or great for us. Great for everybody. While we're here, let's double-check our Diplo. Not seeing anything super useful right now, though. Karun, looks like they've lost another army, and ooh, hello. If it isn't Wulfric. Alright, well, these guys are probably going to fight amongst each other. Oh, look at this. Hexoatl is willing to peace out. And they're willing to offer quite a bit for it anyway. As well, I mean. Now, that's an interesting question. Do we do that? Because we could peace out with them. But if we do, that won't stop the elves and the lizards from fighting, which is still an issue. So all it will do is it will open up Mazda Or we'll open up Mazda to, or allow Mazda to attack the elves without us interfering in the matter. And the elves are frankly safer allies at this point, especially since, well, Mazda doesn't like us very much. Looks like he is coming down here, probably to try to take Spectazuma again, but, well, he's gonna fail at that. Are we able to reach the Temple of Kara, incidentally? We are not able to reach the Temple of Kara. Oh, yes we are, I lied. Why do I lie? What do we have here in terms of garrison? Not much. I don't imagine this guy could react to it, so we could probably freely move here. In fact, let's do so right now. Mazda definitely can't reach it, and he'd have to land at Spectazuma. He might also try to go back and retake the Monument of Itzatal. And Valiant defeat, yeah, because this army is garbage, but that's fine. We'll do this manually super quick in a bit. I'm just setting up the next stuff, doing a little bit of admin before we head into the next battle. Now, what do we have here? Alaric Redmane and Durek Redbeard.
Not likely.
And, well, the garrison here isn't all that strong, but there is a full stack there. Okay, these two might be able to attack that, but once again, we'll wait to split up the admin and the battles. And Aldebras, you can definitely reach Sartosa, no matter what stance, so let's send you. And then we've been saving these two Empire captains that Aldebras has been leveling. We're going to send those down to Volkmar pretty shortly. They're level 14 and 12, which is pretty good. And basic training will buff the Free Company, and the other one has discipline, so both decent buffs for Free Company. And then Balthazar... Huh. Wait. Can you reach this? Yeah, but it looks like you can just reach this. And wait a second. Iket's gone. Oh no, where did Iket go? Oh, he's right there. Huh. Well, that's interesting. What? He abandoned Skavenblight. Wow, okay. Well, so the AI, I guess, knew it has no chance against 3 armies here, but to abandon Skavenblight. That's so Skaven that I gotta appreciate it. I absolutely feel like they would do that. Oh, if necessary. Alrighty, well, more importantly perhaps, you, Recruiter, are now headed to Karoberg, assuming there's nothing to be built here, and now there is not 6,000 gold at Reikland. Very nice. Although I'm curious, how much of this is from Recruiter being there? Recruiter, go to Karoberg. Just out of curiosity. And income from all buildings plus 14%. Yeah, so 300 gold per turn just from Recruiter being there. In fact, that's he's more than paying for his own existence just by sitting there. And 14% isn't that bad, so that means that once we have a little bit more in the way of mage capacity, we can definitely set up a few more mages to act as, well, hopefully noble mages, ideally noble mages, plus boost income. Each one will easily pay for itself at 188 upkeep. Just put a bunch of them in Altdorf and just make Altdorf make ludicrous amounts of cash. Yeah, definitely need those wizard conclaves everywhere. Anyway, the reason that we put Recruiter here is this. We now have the ability to recruit Knights of the White Wolf and the Karoberg Greatswords. And do we want... Well, I guess we could get started on the Karoberg Greatswords. Like 180, 240, 0, and 46. So I did want to give these to Karl, but I guess for a little while we can have Boris use them. Since he does buff greatswords because he buffs the Teutogan Guard, and they are also a greatsword unit. So we'll do this. 1 of you, and then 6 of you. Okay, yeah, we'll build 1 more of these after. I just want to make sure that these turns are ticking away, because 4 turns is quite a bit. Yeah, and then in the meantime, Reichsmarschall, you are going to take a few of these units away, namely the Halberdiers and the Reichsguard. Like so, because they don't need to be in that army, and Recruiter is busily recruiting. And then Bernhardt, you are making the Fire Rain rockets, or the Hellstorm rocket batteries for Boris, but also will continue making Reichsguard for Kurt. There we go. Although they cost a lot more when you recruit them rather than the Recruiter, but that's fine. I'd like to get both armies up and running reasonably quickly, especially since we want to send armies towards Nakari. What we want to be wary of is Nakari force vassalizing the elves. That would be a huge, huge pain if it happens. And I really don't want to risk it. So yeah, we're gonna send an army up there. Anyway, let's continue. So Karl has moved-ish, though he is... I forget, wait, were you able to auto-resolve or no? Alright, the medium casualties. I mean, there's some decent stuff there, it's just... I don't know, it doesn't feel like it would have much of a chance against Karl's army, you know? But we would take damage doing this. I'll think about it. It's just that there are much better... better battles on the horizon by the looks of it, and we gotta pick one. And I think the one that maybe we want to pick is this one. Volkmar destroying more Greybeard's prospectors. I'm sure that's what everyone wants, not just me. You're talking crazy. Let's see, Luther. Let's put you into encamp stance. Ooh, no, wait, you know what? Go in regular stance right there. Okay, I see a problem. You can't reach this guy, can you? Actually, maybe you can. Let's see if I can do this. Wait. You're gonna go here. Then we're gonna send Volkmar in trenches stance, why not? To this guy. And then as soon as Volkmar gets close enough, we're gonna move you go. Oh, damn it, I missed. Ah, yeah, that didn't work. Well, we're not gonna retreat now. It's not quite what I wanted to happen, but we're not retreating, so I guess we're fighting with one army. That's fine. We'll send the other army to Martek if, in fact, it can reach him. So, on the bright side, this should make for a more fun battle because we won't have a second army to reinforce. Here we go, Volkmar. You can do it, buddy. Alrighty, well, this is some nice lighting on this particular map. Volkmar should be happy. Everybody here should be happy about this being a battle against the Greybeard's prospectors. Speaking of, we have this little tiny army that was outside of the garrison, and we're going to charge, or outside the settlement rather. We're going to charge the Quarrelers and the Rune Lord with our demigryphs. I was originally going to have Volkmar do it as well, but at the end of the day, I decided to send Volkmar out here instead. The enemy is going to arrive on the field, and we are going to cast banishment upon them. Now, there are a few trees that are a little bit in the way of our artillery pieces, but I did deploy the artillery, hopefully, in such a way where the trees don't interfere over much. This one's a little bit annoying still, but, well, nothing we can do about that one. We got about 2 minutes until the enemy arrives, or at least 2 minutes from the start of the battle. Should be plenty of time for the demigryphs to kill this unit of Quarrelers, though I'm not entirely sure about the unit of... about the Rune Lord that is there. Though fortunately it is a Rune Lord, so it's not going to be nearly as threatening as the other unit is. There we go. Or as the Dwarf Lord would be. A Dwarf Lord would be. Alright, and there we go. The demigryphs are in now, and they should make quick work of the Quarrelers. They're going to just ignore the Rune Lord, who appears to be dueling one of them here. Ah, I love the angry bird cats. Eagle cats? Whatever. Catbirds. Angry catbirds. And there we go. Looks like the very last of the Quarrelers are just getting ripped apart. We're going to then peel one of these units away as we kill the Rune Lord with the other. It is still going to take some time, but, well, we have time. Another 30 seconds at least until the main enemy army arrives. And the said Rune Lord is quite surrounded. These guys also do armor-piercing damage, and, wait, what's the flaming attacks from? Does one of you have a banner of... I don't remember what's giving them flaming attacks. It must be something from Volkmar. Wait, is Volkmar inadvertently a fire army? I just realized. Do all of his units do fire damage? Wait a second, I was gonna get him a regular wizard, or a death wizard, but perhaps if he does fire damage already, we need access to Kindle Flame, and the increase of said fire damage then. Alright, I'm gonna have to double check what exactly is doing that. Anyway, the enemy units are arriving onto the map, and thus our artillery are going to begin firing. Gonna do as much damage to the enemy army as we can before they get to us. Looks like they back off rather than get hit by the first shots from our fire rain from our Hellblasters. No, from our Hellstorm rocket batteries. Damn! Ah. The biggest issue with the addition of the Fire Rain rockets for me is constantly calling the Hellstorm rocket batteries the Fire Rain rockets. Anyway, looks like we got a banishment off on from Volkmar. Let's see how much damage he did from that. 18 kills only, but nearly 10k damage. Not too bad, especially considering we don't have a caster in this particular army as yet. Otherwise, it'll be up to the artillery to try to soften the enemy army up before they get to the rest of our units. And our units are deployed in such a way that we can have our regular infantry out before the Free Company militia. Later on, this will instead be replaced by Sigmarite disciples, who will act in a similar manner. And all the Free Company can both fire between the units as well as at the same time rush around or forward and chase stuff down and hit it in the flanks and the back, all that sort of stuff that you can do with Free Company once the enemy is engaged. Anyway, speaking of getting engaged, the enemy is about to reach our army. A few more seconds of traveling forward, and here they come. These are miners with blasting charges, which is a concern, because they might be able to get a few volleys off. There we go, and it looks like they're going to target our Free Company militia rather than the halberdiers, which is quite unfortunate. A couple volleys do go off. Let's see the damage there. Having the HP of one of our Free Company, though fortunately not actually killing a lot of models, and doing about a quarter damage to the other. Though the halberdiers are now in, it will allow our Free Company to move around the enemy, at least here, and then the other units of Free Company to take up these empty slots and fire into the sides / the backs of the units. Looks like the enemy Rune Lord has finally been killed here, but it's taken about 4 freaking minutes for this unit of demigriffs to kill him. Huh. This may be because it's a halberd-wielding demigriff unit and not the other demigriff unit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether that would have actually been faster or not. Maybe I should have just sent a unit of Free Company out there to chase him down. Not that I think it's going to make much of a difference in the fight. Anyway, Volkmar is going to continue fighting, and he will pop his Grand Soul Fire upon the enemy miners and dwarf warriors. Our artillery continue to support everybody, but are now firing into enemy quarrelers rather than miners and dwarf warriors, as the latter are all engaged with our forces. The unit that's taking the most damage by far of ours is the single unit of great swords. That was the tip of the spear, mostly because, well, we only have the one and it had the most armor, but it also did get hit by the enemy grudge thrower before our artillery forced it off the map. And Free Company firing into a Thane. They're doing a little bit of damage. Looks like, what, about 20% of his HP in a single volley? It's not bad. It's not bad. Could be more, but I'll take it. For a unit that's a tier 1. That's very nice. And these guys aren't very high veterancy either. They're only tier 2 or rank 2, although that will increase. Alright, more enemy units moving in. Some Longbeards with shields this time, but if they want to attack our halberdiers, they're just going to keep getting ripped apart by our Free Company, who seem to be doing a pretty good job. These guys are approaching and have lost half their HP by the time they get to the halberdiers. And I think perhaps the reason they chose to go after the halberdiers rather than the Free Company is simply because the Free Company can run away. If they wanted to. The ones in the center, however, I believe are set not to run unless I'm mistaken. Or maybe these guys didn't run because the enemy unit here clipped one of our units of halberdiers, but that's their problem. Otherwise, it looks like the battle is just about ours. In fact, the vast majority of the enemy units are starting to either rout or shatter. We even sent a few of our Free Company militia forward as the enemy's flank broke, just to chase down the quarrelers and the dwarf warriors and whatnot, and to help out the demigriff knights in killing these units before they can get off the field. Yeah, I think it's Volkmar's final skill that adds fire attacks to the entire army, isn't it? The final skill of his unique Lord line. Yeah, okay, I gotta remember to get him a Fire Wizard then. Maybe a Fire Wizard and the Death Wizard? Does he really need 2 wizards, though? I guess I could put the Death Wizard in yet another army. I keep looking for places or for army types to put the Death Wizard in. Gotta figure it out. I'm not a huge fan of the lore, though. The Spirit Leech is great, it's fantastic, but Purple Son of Zoraeus is so freaking unreliable. It's just horrendously unreliable. I don't think I've ever had a good cast of Purple Son of Zoraeus. And I cast it quite a lot of times in my Vlad campaign, just to try to see it, well, just to try to see it as in the effect, because it looks pretty cool, but otherwise, damn is it unreliable. But that can be said for a lot of Vortex spells in general. And then again, this is SFO after all, and I've been very impressed in my Arcane campaign of Skullstorm, which I used to never even use because it used to be kind of a trash ability, but yeah, it's been doing a lot of work in that campaign, so... yeah, pretty big differences. Anyway, looks like the enemy army has finally shattered. We are going to try to do our best to chase off and gun down all the enemy dwarfs that are still running away, as we don't want to be fighting them again. We'll have to auto-resolve this. Fortunately, our free company are really quite adept at doing this sort of thing and should be able to destroy most of the enemy army as they chase them down. There's a few Thanes on the field, and Volky is going to personally try to kill them. Hey, don't push them towards it. Volky, what do you... Oh, yeah, it's definitely an issue with the War Altar. It does do that. Several similar units like to do that as well. Ikit Claw kind of has a similar issue. Just anything similar to these sort of units, just sort of push the enemy. The enemy does take attack damage while being pushed slowly, as we can see, and there dies there. But if you're not careful, it'll push him right off the edge. But if you're not lazy like me, you can just move around your unit and then push him back towards the center of the map instead of off field. But anyway, a close victory for us, though I imagine that's primarily due to ammunition loss, as I don't think we actually took all that much damage. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Nearly every single Greybeard's Prospector here destroyed. It's exactly what I've wanted from this campaign, from every campaign, from this game in general. Anyway, we're going to take the tiny amount of money. Yeah, these guys are worth nothing. They're worthless, and they're beardless, so it makes sense. I'm not even going to pardon them, execute them all. Alrighty, trait gained, attack minded for Volkmar, good, and Dwarfen Dread. Yeah, if only if there was a specialist anti-Greybeard's Prospector's trait. Now, Luther, are you able to reach Martek? Actually, you are, beautiful. So you're gonna siege this and hopefully auto-resolve it as well. Pyrrhic Victory, oh, wow, okay. Alright, we might have to manually fight that real quick. What's the garrison like? Well, they do have a bunch of dwarf warriors and longbeards and an artillery piece, which you guys do not have. I do see the problem, but you should still be able to take them out. In the meantime, Volky, you're just going to go ahead and auto-resolve the rest of this. 5 losses, good. And then we will occupy the place. And out of that, we get a gem mine shaft, which is nice. Diplomatic relations +5 with all factions, always a great thing to have. We just gotta get Volky some heroes, though. Those 2 captains I promised him, and I think in 2 turns, or in 1 turn, he'll get his wizard, which is gonna be the Allure of Death wizard. Then you... aren't. You're gonna move right here to the edge of this territory, and then you're gonna go for Xandri, if possible, next turn. Unfortunately, with that, we are pretty much out of time, and I am gonna have to call it. Next time, we will destroy the Greybeard's Prospectors for good at Vulture Mountain and at Martek, though it doesn't look like they have any more armies remaining, so perhaps the rest of the battles against them will be super easy. Then we have to probably wait a turn or 2 while we consolidate a little bit and retrofit Volkmar's army, as obviously this is not its final form. And while doing so, we can destroy Sartosa, we can destroy Skavenblight, and sail an army or 2 down here, and then possibly an army down to Lustria to help Wolfhard out, because, well, he is alone against a lot of enemies. Not as many enemies as Gorok is facing off against in my Gar campaign right now, but still quite a few. And if we don't peace out with Mazdamundi, and I'm leaning towards not, then we have to conquer quite a lot of this. This is all green territory for us, after all, and yeah. I a little bit regret asking the elf... Oh, wait, no, Mazdamundi declared war against Eataine, not against us. Right. I remember that nonsense. I was about to say, I regret pulling the elves into our war, but in reality, the elves pulled us into their war. So, yeah. Now, normally it would be against my sensibilities to side with the elves over the lizards, or over with much of anybody, but, yeah, in this particular situation for this campaign, I think it would be more advantageous to keep the elves friendly and to destroy these lizards instead, but maybe keep Itza and Talaqua and the last defenders alive, if we can manage to do so. In fact, the main thing that we gotta do there is make sure to betray Khemri in 2 turns by canceling these agreements that I accidentally made with them, because nobody here likes them. And most of the factions that... yeah, they're mostly at war with them as well. Pretty much everybody here hates Khemri, which is kind of neat. I guess Cetra's getting a taste of what it feels like to play Arcan, which is being surrounded and attacked constantly from all sides, everywhere. Though it does make for a pretty darn interesting campaign. Anyway, as I said, calling it here, more battles to come. Stay tuned to next time for the destruction of Skavenblight and Sartosa and Uzkalek, as we simultaneously destroy 3 factions that have been, well, I wouldn't say quite a plague on us, but a minor annoyance, if nothing else. Plus, maybe shortly, a battle with Grimgor Ironheart, which I'm pretty excited for as well. More battles to come. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.